Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Yet another session at Awesome Bytes.
Yeah.
Today's topic is over reinforced.
Yes, it is. It's back to the civil engineering days.
Yes, gets me all excited about not knowing anything about civil engineering.
Yeah. You remember the reinforced structures, the beams?
Yes, I remember those. It's when the failure strain is reached before the yield strain, right?
Oh, God. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I didn't know exactly that.
Yeah, and before we yield to the strength that is there within it.
Mhm. Yeah. So, over reinforced is when we build the beams with quite a lot of steel, more than the amount of steel that we expect it to have.
Yeah.
The steel doesn't fail. Okay, when the beam approaches this failure mode,
Yeah.
instead the concrete fails.
Hmm.
And when the concrete fails, it fails with an explosion. Unlike steel, when steel fails, it fails very gracefully. It bends and stretches. Not bends, it stretches and then it slowly fails.
Yeah.
While concrete cannot fail because it is under compression,
Hmm.
it cannot fail gracefully. Instead, it fails with an explosion. And then, it is always safe for the people around the
Yeah.
structure to notice that there is a graceful, gradual failure rather than taken by surprise by a sudden explosion.
Hmm.
So that's why we often build structures in under reinforced way so that the failures are noticeable. It is gradual. It gives you warnings. It shows the cracks in the concrete, and still the structure doesn't fail.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
take this as an analogy, and you want to go on.
no. I mean, I'm always fascinated by that concept from our engineering days, because I used to apply this in many, many, many different ways. Yeah, it is of course an analogy in you know and non-engineering things, life, all those things. But even for that matter, when we design systems, I always tend to under reinforce it. Like
Hmm.
in some ways, you don't go over and design, but you just design just enough, you know,
Yeah.
not anything more. You fill your studio just enough.
Yeah.
So that's a concept. That's a very interesting thing that we learn from strength of materials and the structural design into life.
It's very interesting because everything that you said right now, I was listening to it from the context of parenting.
Mhm. Oh,
And it is
okay.
very interesting. So, and anyone who is listening to this video, if you go back and start listening to it right again from the context of parenting, you'll start seeing sometimes we over reinforce our children, right?
Mhm.
We don't want them to fail. We give them everything.
Yeah.
And then later in life, when something happens, they snap
Yes.
because they did not see the cracks while they were growing up. They did not see the cracks or the strain in their journey when they were going through life in their early days.
Mhm.
And that would cause for them to really suffer later on.
Yeah, and when the failure hits, they wouldn't know. It'll be sudden,
Yeah.
and there'll be little time to react to it.
Hmm. So, what do you think should be the right approach in terms of the human spirit? Let's say whether it is in organizations, whether it is within teams. Uh, Applying this concept, what could we do?
Yeah, I think we need to look at uh, the fact that how much we are what do you call protecting things unnecessarily,
Hmm.
because oftentimes we think it's good to have certain parts holding up, but what we don't realize is that when you strengthen one part, in effect you're weakening the system by weakening another part which is not strong enough.
Hmm.
Right. So as a system, it is not improving. As a system, it is still weak. All that we did is we shifted the weakness from one part to another. And sometimes we need to make sure that we need to find what should be the real weakness that we have, and probably leave it as it is.
This
So,
time I started listening to it from the concept of public speaking. It's interesting how you can actually take it and apply it in different scenarios and still see. So sometimes people go out there and want to become a speaker, and being a speaker is not about speaking alone, it's about also developing great life experiences. And sometimes people don't focus on that aspect.
mhm,
They focus
yeah,
only on the delivery part, only on the what they say about writing a good book is have a great life first, do good things. And there's a mentor of mine who was mentoring my speech at this point of time, and he was saying, if someone comes and tells me I don't have a great message in my life, or I don't have anything, no experience to talk about, then he tells him, then go and do bungee jumping. You know, go sign up for bungee jumping, and you'll have something to talk about.
yeah, or do engineering.
Yeah. Or don't do engineering. Yeah, I mean, do it, but don't do it in the sense, yeah, you did it well, and I went through it,
Yeah,
and
but
so
there
we
are
had.
lots of lessons even.
All right, and that hits us on the 7 minute mark, and let's not over reinforce this topic anymore. But yeah, it's food for thought. It's food for the day, I guess.
Sure, then.
All right, till we meet again tomorrow. Have a great day.
See you then. Yeah. Bye.
Ciao.